when there was the fires in Australia. And Kylie called me up and she said, Mommy, I really want to, give some money to the fires in Australia. I go, okay, we organized that. And then you hope that that is being, taken care of the right way. Well, in this case, we were asked, to give, Kylie said she wanted to give some money to the frontline workers and take care of like masks and if hazmat suits. At that time, we didn't know what was needed and the shields and everything. And so I called Dr. Aliabadi at Cedars. We call her Dr. A, and we said, listen, we'd like to get some stuff going. And so anyway, she helped facilitate this whole thing. And what I think is so remarkable about all of this is we were actually able to see it being made, coming in on the pallets, and being distributed. And every day she gave us a list of all the hospitals that were being blessed that day, which was so remarkable. And then she called me up one day and said, hey, do you mind if we send some of this stuff to New York or, to this city and to that city? And so we were able to see exactly where it was going and how it was being used and how fast it went, which was shocking. Like, in days it would be gone and you'd have to order more. So that was fascinating for me in a real positive way, because I felt like, everyone can make a difference no matter how big or how small the donation. But this is a time when you absolutely know where this is needed and where your money's going and how it's being distributed. It was so rewarding.
You see it right there.
And interesting just to be able in a crazy way, just to be able to see the exact process. So I don't think we can give enough, right now. It's definitely needed, but I just wanted to give thanks to everybody on the front lines who are working on all our behalfs.
Kris, tell me, have your businesses been affected, or have you been able to transition with the new world order and working remotely?
We have built a large sustainable business based on direct to consumer, and that was always our business model from the beginning. I think Kylie was we were very lucky because she kind of was this disruptor in 2016, 17 with her business, and was able to learn how to communicate with the consumer and her fans and her followers early on. And that gave us a great deal of a leg up building our business on that business model.
What's remarkable to me, what I think a lot of people don't realize, is it hasn't been that long. I agree with you. You guys have really been a disruptor of that direct-to-consumer online push, but it hasn't been 5 years. It's only been a few years that you've been able to achieve that.
I think that what people can learn from this at the end of the day, I mean, listen, we're learning something every day. We learn, we tweak, we try to figure out what the consumer is really asking for. I think you really have to pay attention to your customer and your brand. I think having social media, having Instagram and all the things that are available to us, Snapchat and Twitter and Facebook, all of it, all these platforms, you can really, it's like having a built-in focus group. You can really start to test the waters and find out what your consumer, what your customer is really asking for. Because I think in the beginning, all of us were very comforted and, by baking banana bread. And, I was making 12 cakes a day. I can't even zip my pants up anymore. But I mean, there was this comfort in what movie to watch and what to bake and what to eat. And it was comforting. And then there is that big segment of people that is very hopeful, that isn't as disrupted as other people, and they still want to, they're home alone, they might be bored, but they still want to know what the latest thing is, or they still want to shop, or they still want to buy something that makes them feel happy. So I think you just have to find that balance.
I love what you said. On Shark Tank, we always think we're a bit of a mirror to the economy. So when we started Shark Tank, it was during the 2008 recession. It was all about
Oh, wow. Yeah.
cash. How do I get a loan? And for the last couple of years, it's been all about online engagement. In the past, people used to come on and say, can you help me get into Kmart? Can you help me get into Bed Bath and Beyond?
Right. It was
Whereas
about
for
the
last,
retailer.
yeah, for the last year, we advice for someone who may not be online today and they're a small business. How do you get there? Like what would you be doing today if you can share with us some of that advice?
Well, I think that if you're going to start, I think that starting an online business is super smart. And I think that you have to, this gives this window of time website and really what that might look like and what might be appealing to somebody else, and do some homework and find out what people are wanting, what kind of business might be something that would work. But you know what I find every time, people have asked me this for years, and I'm sure they ask you the same thing, is, what kind of a business should I go into? And I think it's really hard to go into a business that you're not really excited about, because it's too difficult to try and learn a new craft and be passionate about something you know nothing about. It's great to keep learning in life and adding new things to your, to your brain and to your, but to start off a business at these times in life, I think it has to be something that you already know a little bit about, or you're really excited about.
And I love this and I love that, but none of those things are my business. They're hobbies. And it's less, people ask me that all the time. I've never met somebody truly successful that can't talk my ear off about their business. And I think if you're going to, if you're going to enter something, not only do you have to be interested and passionate about it, you got to know something about it. And you got to know more than I know.
Exactly. And I think we've learned so much along the way. And I think that, it is a learning experience. Being online, the business changes every day. The analytics change every day. The numbers change every day. What the consumer wants changes every day. So that makes it very ripe for a lot of opportunity.
Are you a big analytics person, Kris? Are you a big numbers person? Are you analyzing, like when you post something or you send something out there, are you constantly looking at the numbers?
Well, my team is. I love numbers and I love learning all about what's happening during the day. And there's nothing, and is one of them, Jen Cohen, who works on my team, and she's like a walking analytic thing. She's just amazing. And she, we talk all day long, about what's happening and what's needed, and also about, what the needs are on the front line. And she's able to pull a lot of information. So for us in our business, information is key. And I think it really does keep things going. And we're lucky that we have businesses that, that people do want to participate in because they are comforting, like Kim Skims and our skincare and things that make sense. I think people are going to want to buy what they need, and they're going to want to buy what makes them feel good.
I also think that, some of those products, like you mentioned, are small on the economic data. Those kind of things are continuing to be bought and are actually increasing in terms of purchases. Because I think, when things are hard, you want comfort.
You do. You do. You really do. What are those, oh my gosh, what are those pajamas that you had on Shark Tank?
Oh,
the Christmas.
Tipsy Elves.
Tipsy Elves. Do you know how we have bought Tipsy Elves over the years for my family and I, and we all match. movie. So I might have to support your business